Internet of Things, nanotechnology in healthcare, digital education, and e-commerce development, the modern world stands on the threshold of large-scale changes in daily lives of people and the economy of entire regions. Even as we speak, the experts call these transformations as the fourth industrial revolution, inscribing them in consistent history of previous technological explosions. In a special program, Digital Kazakhstan, we tell about how they affect the internal processes in the Republic. In today's release, let's talk about why they're going to wean Kazakhstani doctors away from paper documentation. Why are domestic HEIs offered to treat not real but virtual patients? And how will the augmented reality technology help in the fight against oncology? Electronic card catalogs, prostheses controlled by the power of brain impulses, disease simulators, telemedicine, pharmaceutical drones, wearable health gadgets, and much more. Throughout the world, the healthcare system digitalization is developing at a rush. Innovative developments in the fight against cancer diseases are in the top of the most popular inventions in the field of healthcare today. Prostheses stimulating natural movements are also popular. Among the most popular inventions are gadgets that collect data on patient status in real time, such as body temperature, blood and arterial pressure, electrocardiogram, as well as the amount of oxygen and sugar in the blood. In Kazakhstan, they began to start thinking about transferring the medical sphere to electronic mode in 2005. And in 2007, they began work on Digital Kazakhstan State Program, one of the goals of which was to rationalize the use of healthcare resources, patient orientation, and access improvement to quality medical care. In order to achieve the stated goals, first of all, they intend to digitize the card catalog, recipes issue, and medical services payment in the country. According to experts, such measures will avoid corruption, accelerate and improve the process of first aid provision. Already by January 2019, the Ministry of Healthcare intends completely to wean Kazakhstani doctors away from using paper documentation. This is the Republican Center of e-Health in Astana, which currently supervises 22 information systems in medical field. They started developing 12 years ago, but earlier they were aimed at facilitating the work of administrative staff, but now programmers focus on patients' comfort. New technologies such as BI module allow conducting analytics based on previously received electronic data, and those in turn help specialists make better predictions about the development of certain diseases. In addition, most services assume medical services transition to a digital format. For example, many medical institutions already use a portal for hospitalization.
We enter all data of patient's outpatient card into the hospitalization portal.
After entering, in the first case, inpatient department gives the hospitalization period, depending on the number of available seats. And the second mechanism is to choose the term of hospitalization automatically. In this case, we can give permission to the patient to change the period of hospitalization or choose another alternative inpatient department. Now, by means of applications and special sites, you can not only reserve a place in a queue to the doctor, to be hospitalized, or get a recommendation from a specialist without leaving home, but even change the situs to a particular polyclinic through e-government website. You need only an individual identification number and an electronic digital signature for entering your personal cabinet. Then we'll need to enter contact details here so that medical organization employees can contact us. We choose the reason for the situs, available or moving. Then we send a request. This request immediately goes to medical organization, where already employees of this organization will consider this issue. Republican Center of Electronic Medicine also deals with development and implementation of remote consultation or telemedicine, as it is commonly called now. The need to introduce such a service is due to the wide geography of the Republic. In this regard, remote region residents cannot always get timely medical treatment. Moreover, thanks to video communication, doctors of small towns and even the patients themselves can contact highly qualified doctors and consult about the treatment methods. Currently, telemedicine concept is being developed. Of course, Kazakhstan is a very geographically vast state where sometimes it is very difficult to provide medical services. In accordance with this issue of technologies and sensors is addressed now, with which you can monitor the status of the patient remotely, where he can consult with his doctor by means of a video call.
По видеозвонку со своим врачом.
In order for remote region residents to get not only advice but also necessary medicines in Kazakhstan, they are seriously considering now the capabilities of air drones. One of the options was presented at the 7th Central Asian Forum in Almaty. This model can carry up to 10 kilograms of cargo at a distance of about 150 kilometers. In this case, drones not only simplify the delivery of necessary drugs and equipment, but also significantly save pharmaceutical companies' budget, reducing logistics service cost.
Drones present a unique opportunity to overcome the constraints by poor ground logistics, poor ground infrastructure, mountainous regions, by being able to fly over obstacles and make direct deliveries to these communities that are either remote or just very difficult to reach generally. So we see that the adoption of UAV and drone technology could be revolutionary in transforming the healthcare systems for many, many people in these isolated communities.
The points appear here, and there is feedback on these points. Arman Mukushev has been introducing innovative technologies into educational system of Kazakhstani medical HEIs for several years. His first development was software for anatomic pathologist students, which allows them to immediately model and identify existing diseases that cause the patient's death. Now this program is implemented in several HEIs of the country. The process of adapting the simulator to educational institutions' requirements is underway. The idea was also endorsed by the world community. In the end of September 2016, there was a European Congress of Anatomic Pathologists, where we also gave a talk with a poster, with a report. Moreover, our decision was included in the top 10. That is, anatomic pathologists themselves had already recognized that our software has great prospects, and, most notably, with its help, survival rate of knowledge is very high, and student success level is improving. Arman also suggests practicing not on real but virtual patients, explaining the idea that students are short of empirical skills. After all, not everyone will agree to entrust their treatment to beginners. In order to help students, Arman's company has developed a simulator of a sick person. In the form of an interactive game, the program allows to assign appropriate examinations to the patient, see the diagnosis according to the results of the test, and prescribe a therapy. Such programs not only help to diversify education methods, but also have a positive impact on the student's success level.
With
the help of this game, their strong clinical thinking is developing. They know what needs to be done, what virtually accepts, and can differentiate them. Most importantly, we have learned at departments that before software development, many students do not know the pathogenesis of disease, illness, and nosology. Experts believe that nano and biotechnology use in the healthcare sector will solve a number of global problems. For example, such as early detection of illnesses or invention of an effective cancer remedy. In Kazakhstan, several scientific centers are engaged in studying the issue of anti-cancer therapy, including the National Nanotechnology Laboratory.
Одна из главных целей, конечно, помимо того, чтобы обнаружить и
In addition to discovering and determining all mechanisms from the point of view of nuclear physics and processes that occur inside the cell, one of the main goals is to determine these mechanisms and, of course, to come up with devices that could identify it in a timely manner, i.e. in the early stages of malignant tumors of formation.
на ранних стадиях образования злокачественных опухолей.
For a more detailed study of such a global problem, scientists of this laboratory cooperate with world-leading experts, participate in international European forums. Negotiations are also in progress with local medical institutions and universities of Kazakhstan for knowledge consolidation in terms of oncology. However, the main activity of laboratory is concentrated on anti-cancer pill search, namely the development of medicines based on silicone nanoparticles.
Получались кремниевые наночастицы, значит, у них есть такое уникальное свойство. Они очень...
Silicone nanoparticles were obtained, so they have such a unique property. They are photovoltaic active. When actuation nanoparticles with certain wavelengths illuminating, we can stimulate the production of singular oxygen, which is chemically superactive. And it turns out that they destroy or burn cancer cells from the inside. Experiments with animals have been carried out, and it has been shown that silicone nanoparticles can be studied as a photodynamic agent.
Были проведены эксперименты с животными, и было показано, что в качестве фотодинамического агента кремниевые наночастицы могут быть исследованы.
And while some are learning nanotechnology for insidious disease struggling, the others are trying to solve the problem with the help of artificial intelligence and augmented reality technology. For example, now we are implementing an artificial intelligence project in terms of oncological diseases. This will allow the patient to come to the doctor in the future. Using this system, the doctor can add patient information identification. Further, the system itself can, based on collected data, do analytics, then compare it with scientific journals and find the optimal solution for oncological disease, which is necessary. That is, it is already a certain consultation for the doctor, some kind of second help, a very important point. Thanks to nanotechnologies, scientists are developing new methods of treatment that can accelerate the usual processes of recovery and rehabilitation. For example, in the National Laboratory Astana 6 years ago, they held a course for research in the field of regenerative medicine. These issues are studied by specialists who have been trained in leading medical centers and universities in the US, England, and Japan. During this time, several scientific programs and more than 100 projects have already been developed here. One of them is the development of a special powder that helps if burned by wounds and other skin lesions that need regeneration.
Вот у нас есть наглядный пример, то есть это порошок, который мы можем применять.
We have an illustrative example. It is a powder which we can apply and place on the wound surface, and then when interacting with a moist environment, it acquires the shape of a hydrogel, and when the temperature changes on the skin surface, it turns into a patch. This patch allows us to keep the microenvironment on the wound surface. There are also certain immune factors that stand out on this surface and help the skin regenerate in a fast period.
И также там существуют определенные иммунные факторы, которые выделяются вот на эту поверхность и помогают коже регенерировать за достаточно быстрый период.
Today, the introduction of so-called personalized or individual medicine is gaining momentum around the world. It will allow for treatment depending on the organism's characteristics of each individual person. Kazakhstan was no exception in this area. The National Laboratory Astana is studying technology of genomic research, which will help to treat patients more effectively.
Сейчас, в последнее время, это глобальный тренд. Вы знаете, большое внимание уделяется в развитых странах внедрению.
Now it is a global trend, you know. Great attention is paid to the introduction of personalized medicine in the developed countries, the introduction of genomic research. These studies were carried out on the basis of Center for Life Sciences of our university, the whole genome sequencing. Then there were attempts to use these data after their bioinformatical decoding, to use these data for prediction, for early diagnosis, as well as for assessing the treatment effectiveness of various diseases.
различных заболеваний.
Thanks to digital technologies and new generation of biological sensors, external and internal devices for monitoring vital activity, doctors will be able to learn more about the human body in the next 10 years than in all previous millennia. All the same, rational use of innovations will not only improve the quality of medical intervention, but also optimize healthcare costs. All this is an important condition of success in the formation of a healthy nation of Kazakhstan.